So this was just to tell you that because it is generics does not mean it is anything small. We are providing accessible, affordable, high quality medicines to the world. Quickly, Indian pharma is primarily generic. It is based on efficiency in time and cost to develop a product. It is driven by, so the innovation is driven by product and processes. The processes, reverse engineering, create a raw material which we call as API by a different process. Then work on it to reduce the cost all the time, because in generic, the prices have to be low compared to a brand, where the cost of API doesn't really matter. But in a generic, it matters very much. It cannot go beyond 25–30% of the formulation. India is excellent in a small molecule chemistry, but we did lag behind in biologics. Though India has come up, it has bounced back. It will be some time before we can enter regulated markets of US and Europe. It was the reverse engineering which put India on the pharmaceutical scene in the world. Formulation development excellence through various tech platforms, novel drug delivery systems, nanotechnology. India is creating all those. And compared to China, China is big in API, but India is very big in formulations and much, much more advanced, and even more advanced than many developed countries. Patent challenges, ANDA and Para 4s have become routine for the Indian pharma companies. If you have to enter the international markets and get good return on investment, you have to go for these. Very few companies are there in novel drug discovery and development. Ranbaxy, Sun, Dr. Reddy, GVK, Zydus, Piramal, Glenmark, and anti-malarial Arterolane NC and antibiotic NC were developed and launched in India. Though why we don't do this? Because not only we are risk averse, but it is also very expensive. Because a drug development can cost hundreds of millions of dollars, which will never be able to come back to the company because of the pricing. And it takes 10 years if you are really so good. I don't want to say lucky, if you are so good. It may take more. So the cost of failure is also added in the cost of development. And what is happening in India? Polarization of market is happening because now patent law is fully applicable. New drugs cannot be accessed by Indian companies. Only multinationals are doing that. So they are bringing expensive patented products. We are going towards innovation in generics, making say 3 times a day doses to 2 times a day, or making injections when it was not available, or making oral formulation, pill boxes, and so many such innovations are happening to remain in the market. Very quickly, don't underestimate the power of India. You see, millions of people around the world are getting affordable medicines because of Indian innovation in generics. And see, in HIV, a particular combination per month cost is $2,500 brand and versus $12 Indian generic. So it is the Indian pharma generic industry which has made it possible for treatment of HIV patients in Africa and all the emerging markets. And India also created combinations of these drugs, which was ultimately accepted by US FDA as a pre-ANDA approval. And the multinationals originators are now giving licenses to Indian companies. 80% of developing country ARVs, as you can see. India is the world's largest provider of generic medicines. India is the largest number of FDA approved sites after USA in the world, and a leadership position in DMFs. Coming to the last 2 slides, I want to, this is just to make a plea that industry and academia should work together. In the US or developed markets, most of the innovations have come from universities, not the well-equipped, expensive, well-staffed R&D of the pharma companies. But in India, we are lagging behind in this. There is a need to bridge this. Both the sides, industry and academia, should take proactive role, proactive efforts, come together, talk to each other, and see that we can work together. When I talk to my R&D friends, they say, boys coming from pharmacy colleges, they are not, we need to train them. And when you talk to academia, they say that industry is very apathetic towards academia. So this needs to be bridged. So bridge the skill gap, if possible, in the curriculum, though I was told that extra credits cannot be added in the curriculum, which might be a fact also. But if the academia also works together as one body, it might be able to influence the policymakers and bridge the innovation gap, not necessarily by the most expensive steps, but by simple innovative steps which can be helpful in drug development. So there is a possibility, since I am from pharma industry, then there could be possibility of academia working on impurities, working on certain APIs, working on certain steps in biotech, or some CSR funds can be allotted by the by the industry, or one can work in training, or even simply employing people from academia who can be, like pre-qualified by the academy side, or organizations like Career Launcher who can facilitate this process. So with this, I would like to end my lecture, that it is possible to work together between industry and academia. Both have to start taking their steps. I might have taken a longer time, but I think I was given some additional time to give an introduction to the topic. So I'll now request Siddharth to talk to us about integrated health.